Dom, Maya, welcome to the Because I Love You podcast.
Hey.
And thanks for having us. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, thanks
because
for
we
coming.
love you.
We're just
we are
girls.
here.
We're just girls.
I'm honored. Like, you guys are my first legit guest.
happy to be here.
This is like our first legit like podcast we've been on.
Yeah, and it's honestly giving like kicking the door down. So I'm like, okay, well, let's go.
No, and I'm honored to have that first take because like y'all are blowing up.
Oh my gosh.
The neighborhood is growing.
The neighborhood is in fact
yeah,
growing.
It is growing.
Yeah.
It is
So
growing, yeah.
upstairs neighbors,
Yes.
tell us how. Well, first of all, I want to know how you two met
Oh.
because the
Right, the
dynamic and the
story.
chemistry is beautiful.
Well, thanks.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm like, how do we tell it this time? You know what I mean?
right. It was a cold, stormy night.
It was a cold, stormy night. Yeah.
It
yeah.
was like, I can't even remember exactly when it was. I do remember it was cold though.
Yeah.
And I was at a friend's birthday party who I had met when I first moved to LA.
Mhm.
And I was crunk as hell coming downstairs. My Uber was like 2-3 minutes away.
Mhm.
And I saw Maya and I was like, oh, she looks like she's half black, half Filipino. Like, I'm gonna go talk to her. And that's literally what I asked you. I was like, wait, are you half Filipino?
I love
And she
the
was like,
opener.
no. But when Maya's crunk, she'll literally be like she just is like beaming.
Okay, well,
like a
my
beaming.
side of the story is also that I literally had moved to LA maybe like 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
And my best friend was out and about being him, shout out Keelan, I guess. And he had like ran into your friend outside and then came home and was like, oh, I met this girl. Like, she asked me to go to her birthday party. Like, if you want to come. And we were like, oh my God, we just moved to LA. Like, yeah, we should like go to like whatever. So we went and then cut to I was crunk, but also I was like about to leave. So like I was walking outside to get to my Uber. It was giving end of the night. Okay. So I wasn't
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hey. I was literally like,
You're like, girl, it's
I want to go home. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's giving serendipity because
Real
it
bad.
was like I was leaving in like 2 minutes. You were literally about to leave. But what I'll never forget was there was this little rat. No, I'm just kidding. There was like this man who was there. And I was like talking to Maya and he was like, literally like, just waiting for his opportunity to like talk to her. And I thought he was in your friend group, but because I was drunk, I had no filter and
Right.
like, God knows.
Yeah.
And I literally go, you're not talking to him, right? Like I point to the guy that was like standing.
Stop.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the rat was like, what?
well, I was
And
like,
the rat was mute.
no.
No,
The
I
rat-
was literally like,
the rat was
no.
mute.
And I was like, no, you're like too gorgeous to be talking to him. Like, absolutely do not. Like, that's not okay.
Were you actually talking to this guy?
No, I don't remember him. I have like a brief like flash memory of him because you said that. And then I
Yeah.
turned and I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, like I don't know who this is. And I was like, no. And then you said all that and he was like, oh. And he just like walked away.
Yeah.
So I remember what he looks like, but I like fully was not talking to him like at all. I didn't know he was like
He was
there.
like, it was giving like he was in the queue to like talk to you.
I just like don't
Patiently
notice that
waiting his
stuff.
turn.
No.
No, it's kind of adorable.
And shout out my king, like brought
No,
the girls
shout out.
together, you know?
Really, right.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had the whole like kiki. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like put your Instagram in my phone, like whatever.
Hella that.
Yeah. And then when I realized like Maya and I are cut from the same cloth, like we literally share a brain,
Mhm.
is like shortly after because Maya does photography, she was
Yeah.
like, oh, like we should do a photo shoot together. And I was like, oh, bruh, like hell yeah. So we were on set and you like put on Brockhampton and you were like
Oh.
saying like CUNT. And I was like, right. Like this
It
is
was
my
a key,
diva.
yeah,
it was a key and a
key.
half.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I've never met someone who's the same person as me. Like, that's crazy.
No, I can tell just from watching like the episodes I have. I'm like, this is like an unmatched energy.
Real.
Fully.
Yeah, we kind of just
fully.
like speak the same language. It's so
You do.
I
And
never really
that's
thought
what I'm
about
saying.
it.
I was before we started recording, I'm like, I'm learning so much already.
yeah. And I'm just like, if we ever say anything that you're like, girl, can you please just like literally tell me what you just said? Please do, because I genuinely like do not notice it at all until people
Yeah.
are like,
Like what did you
I'm not
what
following.
was that? Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, guys, like normalize asking people when you don't know what the fuck they're talking about. like,
Yeah.
you know?
No, fully.
I feel
So-
like y'all do a good job of like using it where I can get the context. I'm
Okay,
like,
loving. Right.
You know
Okay,
what I mean?
word.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's my mentality. Because I'm like, ugh, language is all just about context. Like, I feel like if you're just like following
Right.
like the stream of consciousness, then you would kind of just understand that like maybe it's not like the Queen's English, but like
Yeah.
it just is.
Yeah.
It
what
follows
it
the
says,
king.
what it
Like,
means.
It
Yeah.
follows the
like,
king's
literally.
English.
No, absolutely. You guys do a good job of teaching us how to stay cool.
Oh,
But
oh my God,
I'm
please.
like, y'all heard that?
I'm like,
No,
please,
just kidding.
please.
I really want your take. Like, if for someone who hasn't seen your podcast yet, how would you describe your podcast?
And I wish I could really describe
Yeah.
it. It's its own vibe for sure.
Yeah.
It's giving, I feel like what we've said a few times, what it's giving is when you walk into your friend's house and they're already having a conversation.
Yeah.
And then
that
you
is
just
actually really accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you sit on the couch and you're just kind of like listening to people gobble a goo.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
right. I'm like, no.
Everyone I've been explaining, like I was talking to my dad earlier and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have Dom and Maya on today from Upstairs Neighbors trying to explain your podcast. That's why I was like, I'm going to leave it to you to describe it. Because like I told him, I was like, they're yappers. And it's just like the best.
Certified.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, yappers, you know,
Yeah.
boomer energy. But
We're definitely yappers. We're definitely yappers. We have the
Yeah.
gift of gab, I fear.
No,
The
we're
gift of
literally the
gab.
girls who like will not stop talking.
Yeah.
and I love that.
Yeah.
I love
You know,
that.
we
It's
do
a
what we
great
can. We
podcast.
do what we can. Yeah.
If
Thanks.
your podcast were a movie, who would play you guys?
And I've thought about this before.
I like genuinely don't like. I was really thinking about it.
Maybe Io.
Oh my god,
Just
that'd be
because
lit.
addicted to her.
No,
Yeah.
and like her in a
Really.
wig for me too. Like no, literally, I'm like, bitch, one woman show. Like I don't care.
No,
She's
right.
I
Her in a
could see her
wig?
being able to like nail your personality.
Her in a wig back and forth. I would like let her do whatever she wanted to my character.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would tear
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm trying to think for you though.
I don't know. Someone quirked up. Someone, I don't know.
I mean, the tea for me too is I'm
Maybe like Seth
I-
Rogen.
Stop.
and she gonna find
Kinda,
out a way
but
to
why
work
was
him
I
in. She
thinking-
gonna find out a way to work him in.
Why was I thinking like I feel like it would have to be like a male comedian.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, probably Seth Rogen. So I can literally be on set with him. Like,
Are you like in love with
Oh
him?
my god!
absolutely.
Yes.
Bruh, on some real stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's a good man. That's a faithful man. But I would literally be on set like, your wife bad too. Like, let's like
He's
work
married?
something.
Oh, he's married.
He's married and
Oh, wow.
probably like a kid on the way. But like, I don't actually think so. But I'm just like,
Wow.
we could open, if you ever want to open it up, like if you ever think like your marriage, just you want to open it up.
You're down.
Let me know.
Like
And that's
how
real.
you know you're serious when you're like, I'll share.
Yeah. That's
Guys,
what
I
mean.
saw Jeff Goldblum the other day in person, and I just want to say out loud, if you ever see this, like, if he,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's like mine.
Okay, wait. Maya went to the Wicked premiere.
I did.
You did?
I did, dude.
Are you okay?
I literally, like, I'm floating in this chair, actually. If you look down, like, my feet aren't touching the ground. Like, that ish literally had me, like, like,
Oh my,
I'm defying
I'm
gravity.
so
I'm
jealous.
defying gravity.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when it comes out, and see, I guess they're getting me in like a reverse psychology way of like, I kind of went just to be like, I love musicals, like I love going. Shout out Amanda, my cousin, like took me with, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to go, whatever. Not at all on any like, get ready with me to go to Wicked. Like, was not hired, was not anything. Get there, come out, tell everybody in my emergency contact list, like, you need to see this movie. And I'm not even just saying that. Like, you
Oh.
literally, like, it's giving the reverse psychology of like random girl going to movie premiere. Like, no, it worked on me. Like, it works the way that like God intended it to work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Of like, I literally came out like,
It did its number.
November 22nd. Are you guys there?
I'm there.
Because beware.
Now I'm really there because I was seeing the reactions and I was like, are people hamming it up because they got the
Yes.
invite? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
And you
influencers,
never
like,
know.
Before Wicked, after Wicked. Like,
And you never
I'm like, are they? Was it really that serious?
Was it
though?
out- giving
And I was
after
looking
Wicked?
Girl.
behind like someone who recorded themselves crying, and like the row behind them, they were all like,
Girl.
Yeah, they were trying
Mama. Well, I guess literally mama. Like mama, mother. Like that movie, like the whole time I literally was like,
really?
it's so
I'm
good.
honestly worried about
It's-
crying so much.
to.
During
Oh
pregnancy.
yeah.
I would say this. I would say personally that my like movie going experience would have been better if I wasn't like literally beat down. Like
Mhm.
genuinely had like claymation on my face. I was like imagining myself the whole time, like, okay, I can't wait to like come back and like really let it rip. Like I'm about to be in there like,
Yeah. I feel like I need to go like once by myself and then like invite
Yeah.
like my sister to go with me because
Right.
I need that like freedom to just
Yeah.
sob.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be
yeah.
that movie, if you're telling me it's that movie, I'm gonna
It
need the
is.
space to do that.
It
Dude,
really
everyone
is.
was
It was
literally
so
sobbing their
good.
eyes out.
It was so good. And it's not even like sad. It's just like
Beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's so relevant, by the way, which nobody wants to talk about is like obviously they couldn't predict the future, but like
Mhm.
they wrote that. We need that right now.
Mm.
Like they were cooking in a way that was like everything in perfect timing. Like we were in the theater like like that literally had me coming out like, okay, like I'm about to start a protest. Like, guys, what's up? Like it's giving defying gravity.
Wow.
It's giving defying gravity.
They
Wow.
need to pay you
Right.
now.
And they
Oh
really
my
and
God.
that's you know, because sometimes I'm like, you know what? And if I really was a Monopoly man, like I would start censoring what I'm saying. Because one thing about me is when I
Right,
enjoy
right.
something, I'd be like,
Mhm.
guys, I really enjoyed it. Like anyone who can hear I loved it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, they really didn't even get me no food, no
No,
room,
nothing,
no
no
nothing.
nothing.
And that's okay. That's okay. But it was amazing.
But I just want to know, who on the red carpet did you see that was bad?
Honestly, they was all bad. Like
Yeah.
Jeff,
And you saw
Jeff.
Jeff in person.
Yeah, no, and I literally was like, like that shit literally had me like, I walked back into the back room, came back out with a tray, like I'm serving hors d'oeuvres. Like I was like, guys,
Right.
that's redonkulous.
Do you guys know Teffy?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you seen that clip of her talking to him? I think about it daily.
No.
And I would love to ask her. I would love to.
Was there a
ask her.
follow-up?
Like what do you do after that? though?
What would you do after that? Because I would literally slip my number in his pocket and lose my job.
And
What?
have you lose my
Oh,
job?
absolutely.
Like,
lose
I
my
was
job.
like, hello? Like, I know I'm not interpreting this wrong, but yeah.
No, and that's why I can't trust nobody with charm. Because he got
Mm-mm.
charm. And I was telling my
Mm-mm.
friend earlier, like, he has the charm of somebody who's about 5 years away from, like, actually being 70. Like, isn't he, like,
Mhm.
75 or something?
Is he married?
Yes.
And he's
Yes.
Girl, and I would
Oh.
And
literally
his wife
have-
was right there. His wife was right there, and I was like this. Keep your head up, girl. Your crown falling. like, keep your head up. You won.
she was in the room. She
You
was in the
won.
building.
Girl, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if my man was
Oh.
like the charming man by the Smiths, I would literally,
That's what I'm saying.
I would literally have him on a leash, like, you freak.
It really is the charm though, because I've seen him and I'm like, okay, he's giving
Mhm.
father, and then like he talks and I'm like, what's happening? You know?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you do that? How did you
I
do
can't
that?
be in a relationship with someone like that. I'd be like, you have to put duct tape over your mouth at all times.
No, I would literally be like, yeah. If I was with someone who had that much charm,
Yeah.
it would be equivalent to like the girl who just got broken up with, about to get sent home on
Mhm.
Love Island, and like sitting in soul ties, literally like go ahead and just
Sitting in
like
soul
cut
ties.
it.
Yeah.
Go
Every
ahead and
time
cut
you
it for me.
speak, you cheat. Like, there's no winning there.
But that's the thing. It's like, you know, you marry. And I keep, sorry, for people who are watching this, I keep realizing my eyes always go like to this 45-degree angle because I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't looking at you. Like, I was just, I have this thing where I have to look around when I'm talking. It's
That's
called
okay.
ADHD. But I think, though, that like it's part of the contract, you know? Because if it was like us and I like dated somebody and they were like, you can't do all that, like, kiki, I'd be like, so what the hell are you doing here?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Also, shout out Jonathan Bailey, who also was literally so sexy. That's really awesome. I'm really happy for you.
I'm just so jealous of this experience. But speaking of fine men,
Yeah.
let's talk about your dating lives. You don't have to get into the
I'm like,
specifics.
oh my God, my Uber's here. No, I'm kidding. Like,
I'm sure you've all noticed, but my body has been rapidly changing. And to be honest with you, none of my clothes fit lately, including my bras. Now, I typically hate bra shopping because I'm very particular about the look and feel of it, but one of my friends suggested looking into this brand called Honey Love. And baby, we struck gold. I majorly upgraded with the Crossflex bra from Honey Love. These pieces are lingerie inspired, so don't worry. Just because the bra is comfortable doesn't mean you're getting a Nana bra. No. These are hot girl bras. Your Nana's jaw would be on the floor. No one wants to feel constricted and like they're in jail all day while wearing a bra. And Honey Love surprised me with how comfortable and supportive their pieces are. I mean, come on. It's 2025. It's about time we stop living like we're in medieval times with these underwire bras torturing us. We deserve comfort and stability, and the Honey Love pieces give you just that. Without all the
wires. You can wear these bras to a workout or even a work day, and you will feel good and supported, but most importantly, comfortable. Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market. Save 20% off Honeylove at honeylove.com/BCIOY. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. Head to honeylove.com/BCIOY to find your perfect fit. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you at the Because I Love You podcast. Elevate your comfort, elevate your style with Honeylove.
Okay, I'm excited to talk about this because I feel like I've had the gap with my audience because I am washed up and married and now pregnant. Wait, okay, TV Tita, when we went to dinner the last time I was in town.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm about to be 30. And you were like, no, the fuck you're not.
Bria, I
30's
swear
the new
to
20
God,
though.
30's the new 20, but I'm not even kidding. Like, not just because you're one of my friends. I dead ass thought you were 24. Like, I'm not even
I
kidding.
thought
you
so
did that.
too.
You do. Well, you are.
I
You
thought
are.
I
Be who
am.
you are. Be who
I
you
think
are.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
not 30. I just turned 31. That was a joke.
No.
That was a prank.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, my spirit, you feel it, right?
Of course.
Because I don't
You
know
feel it.
when we decided that like 30 was old, and whoever did that like must have died at 40.
It's
like I
me
mean
being
that.
grouped in the millennial category, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure,
Oh, for
It's,
sure.
it's pulling
Because
me
I'm
down.
unlearning y'all's rhetoric as we speak. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, I'm literally 25. Like, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Feeling young. Like I don't know.
Yeah, so like the dating game, I mean, okay, the last time I went on a date, let's see, 2018. That's
And God
wild.
bless America.
Yeah, like that was the last good thing we had. bitch.
Like,
the last good year we had.
Summer 16, like 2000. That was
Wow.
it. That was
Plain
it.
dirty, not
2018
clean.
and getting out the game.
Life
Like I literally was
was-
crashing a
Life
bottle
was
on
kind of
your,
good.
on your boat.
The air was different.
Yeah.
The air was
Oh,
literally, you could walk
yeah.
through the city like, hey, right.
Oh wow, that's really
and
crazy.
this is really gonna date me. I was using like Bumble. Do
Yeah.
people still use Bumble?
Yeah, girl.
Okay, good.
Bumble's like the only one I feel like people actually like meet off of. I feel like I hear
And Hinge.
Okay, I've heard a lot of different reviews.
right and Hinge.
Hinge. Okay, what are the popular apps now?
Hinge, Tinder,
Tinder.
Bumble.
I'm like Tinder. Like what?
Yes.
Is Tinder still a hookup app?
Okay, here's the thing. To do some PR on Tinder,
Okay.
one of my best friends literally met her angel of a husband on Tinder.
Okay.
Husband.
Whole
Okay, and you know what?
husband.
I feel like what it's really giving is like it's gotten so bad that Tinder like came all the way back around.
And I think
Oh,
they're
okay.
restructuring to like
They're
be a little
rebranding?
bit for real.
Okay.
And I say a little bit.
A little bit.
It was kind of scary out there. Like when it first came out, I used it, and then it was like scary.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
the Tinder
it got
swindler, like,
scared.
yeah.
The swindler.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it
Yeah.
was wild out there. So I was like more of a Bumble girl, and then I guess like dating my coworkers worked out best.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I had a coworker,
Like bring back like meeting people in
I
real
feel like I'm sick of this one. Like if I had a different coworker,
Yeah, I'm like, no, for real. Like
like
It-
can we get
it
a male
works.
coworker?
like Winston be like, why are you looking at me like that? I'm like, sorry, it's just, it's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the game.
Listen, don't knock it. Don't knock it. It's-
Don't knock
Oh,
it till
I've
you
never
try it.
knocked that ever
Yeah.
in my whole life.
Is that something you've dabbled in?
No. But I feel like it makes sense
It
though. you know?
does make sense, and it's like I don't know. There's like the excitement of like we're not supposed to be like on the clock and giving eyes. Like that was fun.
Where
It
were you
was
guys
literally
working?
like a rom-com.
Where were you working?
So we worked at this like big IT company in Kansas City. They hire like basically all the fresh babies out of college. So it's
Right.
like college 2.0.
Wow.
And there's a lot of, there's a lot of hormones going on there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you're traveling together.
Oh.
Okay, you have like
Hell.
hotel rooms
I could.
Ugh.
that are literally
Not the
paid
hotel
for
room.
by its company dime.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just got to be stealthy
That's
about
fan
it.
fiction boots.
And yeah, me and AJ were like risque though. We were like on Skype, like you can good stay. Like easily HR could have been like to the office now.
The way that
But-
would literally cook so crazy
It's so
for me.
fun.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
fun.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's why God knew.
Mm-hmm.
He knew I would literally be in that office like,
Yeah.
hey, you looking bad as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and everyone does it pretty much. Like they joke about it the first day in orientation. They're like, look to your left. You're probably sitting by your husband. I'm like, ew. And then literally, yeah, I was the statistic. Yeah.
Dude, are we moving to Kansas? Like,
Girl,
to
they
literally
ain't gonna
do,
take
like,
me out
They're
there.
not gonna take me out there.
They're
yeah.
out there.
I'm literally about to do like
Wow.
social media for them. They're like, girl, fire her.
Yeah. But yeah, so how are you guys meeting people these days?
Here's the thing. So the last guy that well, it's up in the air because I've made questionable decisions. In
No,
the
you've made
recent
right decisions. Everything in
and your
perfect
friend who
timing.
enables. Like,
Well,
no,
okay, because I'm just
joking.
like, what?
Well,
You need
right,
that
right,
friend,
right,
though.
right. You need that friend who's gonna enable you.
You need to find out.
It's not
Y'all
enable.
know what you come to my house for at the end of the day. My friends know.
Right.
If you're not in danger, I'm gonna encourage. Yes.
I
Right.
like that.
Sorry.
We would have been really good friends if I was like 22 and
Come on.
dating. Like,
I mean, cause what?
I will say, sorry, this is a small tangent. Having Maya as a friend while I've been dating has been like really nice because I
Yeah.
realize like how judgmental I am towards myself when I'm dating.
really?
Because I feel like so many people like have the philosophy of you need to stand on business and you need to he didn't pay for your dinner, like he didn't like just micromanaging, like if
Mhm.
he's not literally Prince Charming and literally perfect, like go ahead and cancel him.
Yeah.
And I feel like that more so is a reflection of like shame upon yourself because you're not having enough, like, I feel like they portray it and they being like
Mhm.
the noises, the voices of like dating culture, just saying like you don't have enough self-respect.
Mhm.
And I've just come to learn through Maya's grace and kindness that like that's actually not true. And like
Yeah.
even when, you know, like the last guy I dated, I met on an app. And I feel like a lot of the dates I've been on have been through like dating apps. Like I've never had anyone for the most part, like in real life, like me decide to like go on a date with them,
Yeah.
I guess. And I feel like, you know, after you come home from a date on the app and it went bad, or like, I don't know, maybe they weren't like completely perfect, but like you want to see like what could be there.
Right.
Like, I feel like if they're not perfect or like maybe something went a little wrong, like you're embarrassed to go to your friends and be like, oh, like this is what happened, because you like maybe feel like ashamed or you're like, am I doing the right thing? Or like, I don't know, you're just still gathering information about that person. And I feel
Yeah.
like the more I've like learned, like I feel like I've learned that so much from you is like
Oh.
dropping the haterade, dropping the shame for
Yeah,
yourself of like,
There needs to be
Oh.
a longer grace period for people and like the willingness to communicate. Because I agree, I'm like an outsider looking in at the dating world, and it seems like it's very cutthroat right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
very cutthroat.
Like, yeah,
sure.
like you're saying, if you're not hitting the mark right off the bat, you're out, and that's not really fair because like you don't want anyone to do that to you either.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
I mean,
Totally.
unless it's just like an insane red flag or something.
No,
but
totally.
Mhm.
And that's what
Yeah.
I mean too, because it's so nuanced as well. Like dating someone, like
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
Hey,
yeah.
thanks. I mean, yeah, I think that I think personally that like a lot of that too comes from me of like, I think that it's important personally to recognize or like have a conversation with your ego is kind of like a neutral thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like you're saying, like our culture right now is very like, yeah, like F him, like if he's not whatever, like, yeah, you don't need him, girl, like whatever, which, you know, there's time and place for that too. But I do think that ultimately it's like, well, do you want to see him? Like, are you still curious? Did he really do
Yeah.
anything wrong? Or are you just like trying to protect yourself? Because I think that that's a very different thing from the fact of like, I don't like him or like he did me kind of like dirty or whatever.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, I would hope, or at least my intention with my friends is like, if you're not like in danger and you're still like curious and interested, then I think that it's something to kind of lean on the air of like, go have fun, like go experience something rather than being like, you should have known, like you should see these things before, like whatever. I don't know. I just feel like it robs you of a lot of
Yeah,
experiences.
because the switch up is real. Like I've definitely been in some like serious things with people, and then they like hella switch up, and then I'm like, oh, I should have seen the signs, or like, oh my god, I should have known like that they weren't for real, or like whatever, or I don't know, or just like even like talking to your ex again, like.
Which I've never done before in my whole life.
I'm like,
so
y'all.
There's that. But okay, so I guess what would you say would be like a valid example of being like, no, this isn't gonna work, and being quick to cut someone off versus being like, this is something we can work with.
girl,
that's-
I'm still
that's where
trying to
both-
figure that out, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out too. I feel like it kind of goes back to what Maya was saying about the idea of someone, because it's hard. Like you can't lean on potential. Really, potential only takes you so far. And I think that it just kind of depends what you're looking for. Like if you're in like 3 months deep with someone, I think it takes really like you need a whole year to like experience someone you know, like as much time as you can have to experience someone like go through like their good moments in life. Cause it's like every season of life changes us. Like
Mhm.
Right.
sometimes I'm like in the top of my game, like everything's going for me. And then
Mhm.
like the next month, you know, I'm going through like a family tragedy and like I could react completely different. Or,
Mhm.
you know, maybe I get mad and like, you know, like I just feel like when you're dating someone, you need to see them in like every situation.
Yeah,
every
you have to see them in every light that they have.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, if their character is good and like they're a good person and like they mean well, but then like they're shitty at doing the dishes, like we could cook there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or like say, you know, they're late all the time and that pisses you off and that's annoying. Like I'm like, we could cook there. Like we, you know, sometimes, and even my friend who she has like a lovely boyfriend, she loves him so much, but she's like, he like kind of never really gets me gifts. And I feel like some people would be like, yeah, he's cut, like, and that's valid too, right? Because you want gifts. But I think like, I was like, well, have you told him like you want more gifts?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, no, because I feel like then. And I'm like, that's like your ego feeling like if you have to ask for gifts and like something's
Right.
wrong with that.
Right.
And I'm like, well, maybe the last relationship he was in, like, she never wanted a gift.
Exact love languages. Literally, that's why that's, for example, a whole category, because it's like some people care about it, some people don't. And oftentimes we just like do what we would want in a relationship.
Yeah.
Or we project and we treat people how we would treat ourselves, which says a lot. Like normally when I was dating, I really had to tell myself this too. Like if a guy is treating you poorly for absolutely no reason, that has everything to do with him, not me.
Oh, 400%.
Like
100%.
you hate yourself, not me. Because you know, you have to know your self-worth. And I think like as women, we're conditioned to internalize and like blame ourselves. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, what did I say wrong? No, like really have to come out of that mindset. But I agree. It's like there are deal breakers and there are things that we need to be more willing to talk about.
Yes.
Because I think that would solve some of the problems. Like I have friends who literally haven't gone on dates in so long. They're like, I'm switching to like girls on Bumble or whatever now. And I'm like, I mean, honestly, like eat. But at the same time, like you're cutting everybody off so fast.
Yeah.
That has to stop.
No, and I get that too. Like, it is hella draining. Like,
Yeah.
big time.
Oh,
It is.
that? I'm like, just need to breathe.
The big sigh. The big sigh.
I was like,
Literally sigh.
she's
Yeah,
drained.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I think something that my therapist told me that has been really real in that category. Haven't gone that far in a while though. So, you know, we'll see next time if my growth is really there. But something she told me was like, we also have to stop expecting people to like read our minds regarding our needs. Like, I think a lot of times when friends come to me with stuff like that, or they're like, oh my God, his favorite shirt's blue. Like, I really like this red shirt. It's like, yeah, but if you never tell him, then you never give him, they, she, whatever, like the option to show up in that way. And I think
so
like,
true. And
that's
you'll
the key,
never
too.
stop learning that lesson. Like I've been with my husband. We've been together for much longer, but like married now 2-3 years. So literally like always learning that lesson where it's like, you know, you should have known that. But no, like they still don't know. And I still don't know. Like, I wouldn't want anyone to make the assumption about me. So it's really something you never lose in a relationship is like that over communication and transparency. Like in the phases you're talking about, like this has been a new season for us because like I've never been pregnant. So I am like a whole new monster. And I'm also like really on edge and just emotional. So I have to like catch myself and be like, whoa, like, is this something we need to just dissect a little bit more or is it him? It's always me. So
Real,
it's something you have to like learn. Because I've seen, like, I grew up in a very, like, loud household where I learned, like, oh, he should just know.
Yeah.
That's, you know, and I took that to therapy, too. And it's like, no, that's absolutely not realistic. And I realized how much, like, when I first started dating AJ, how much that hurt him when I would, like, punish him with, like, the silent treatment if, like, something wasn't done and I'm feeling, like, overwhelmed in our relationship. And I'm like, this isn't productive to us growing at all. So it takes a little ego check there.
That's real.
Yeah.
When was the last time you needed to go to the doctor, but you pushed it off? Made the excuse of, I'm too busy, it'll heal on its own, or you just didn't know what doctor to go to. Personally, for me, I think this happens at the most inconvenient times. But here's the thing. You can't brush it off because it usually gets worse or you end up being sick way longer than you need to be. I think we've all been there. Booking a doctor's appointment can just feel daunting. But thanks to ZocDoc, there's no reason to delay. They make it really easy to find and book a doctor who's right for you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, and are a good fit for any medical need you have. And they're highly rated by verified patients. Once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings, choose a time slot that works for you, and click to instantly book. Appointments made through ZocDoc also happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. This will be getting a lot of good use from me, especially now that I'm entering my mommy era. Nobody has time to be sick, so I'm glad there's an option like this where I can get in somewhere and get in quick. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/BCILY to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/BCILY. ZocDoc.com/BCILY.
So, okay, now on to your types. I'm stealing this one from you. If you're walking down the street and you saw your dream man, what is he wearing and listening to? I really liked that question.
Oh yeah, I forgot we talked about that. I don't even remember what I said, so it's different. If it's different, I'm sorry.
And that's the thing too, is like my type especially is like ever evolving.
Well, because you go for a vibe.
I go for a vibe.
Oh, wait, I love that though.
Yeah,
yeah, I love that for you.
Yeah, you go first. I feel like yours is like.
Hey, we're
you?
at somebody's house, okay? Damn.
No, I know,
yeah.
no decorum.
I mean, wearing is like.
Be honest.
As long as he's not wearing like. No, and that's not even. Here's the thing too. If you like hop up out your bed and turn your swag on, like you could hella get my ass. Like I'd be like da 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 da, but like I'll be outside and literally like I don't even know, like random sim man can come up to me and be like,
dream.
My dream man.
Like if we could just package it up right now for you.
Yeah, if we could just pack it up.
My dream man would literally be like Alex Turner, but like 3 inches taller and like a heart of gold. I don't know if Alex Turner has a heart of gold or not. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but just on some like, these days I'm really invested in personality and energy in the back and forth, like respect.
I love that.
Because before I was what my therapist was calling like aspiring for men, and hey, I'll take that on the chest. I'll take it on the chest. And literally, Anwar, do you know Anwar on TikTok, the dating coach? He's like a dating coach.
No,
well,
I know the other
one.
one.
I'm like, first of all, why would he be on your timeline? Like, period. Sorry, some of us are literally in the field like. But he's like this dating coach for Black and brown women. I'm obsessed with him.
Yes.
Obsessed.
The adorable, like, he's gay, right?
Yes, he's gay. Down.
Yes. Oh no, he's on my timeline.
No.
Loving him.
And he's so right.
He's
so right.
He's so
It
right.
hurts.
He's so accurate.
He's so
accurate.
He made this TikTok where he was talking about, I'm like, he made this TikTok where he was talking about like what your type means, or like the kind of guys that you're chasing, like what that means about you.
Mm-hmm.
And the read was nasty because he was like, if you are somebody who like is always going after guys who are very conventionally attractive, it's like this subconscious thing of you trying to like prove to yourself that you're attractive, And I fear like that was my like
your read.
me trying not to cuss. I'm like, that was my so
that's the gotcha.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I think before I was definitely somebody who was like, if they're really, and I also was a hairy girl growing up, like, and for whatever that means, like, I genuinely think that there is a link between like whatever fangirl you were back in the day. I really do. And there will be a study someday. But like, I was always into like the Harrys, like the ones that everyone liked and like were so cute and like so charismatic and like we're the star of the group. And like, I used to be in the club, like you, like literally sunglasses on clipboard, like you, come here. Have you auditioned here before? Like, what's good, So subconscious chase. But now.
And it was like a form of validation.
I mean, it had to be like everything for some reason. Because I will say that like before, I think if we're being very real and raw, it's like before these things felt like almost like conquests. Like Dom will tell you, and like people who've known me before, like I'd be like, he's really cute. Like I don't really know if you'd be into me, but I know I can do it. Like that was always my tea. Is like,
wait,
I know I could
why
get
do
it.
I resonate with that? Because I used to not go for like the hairy. Like I had a phase where I was going for like guys who were so perfectly manicured that they were actually gay.
Yeah. and that's real.
No,
And
I
I
think
see you, and I see you, and I hold space
have you
for
had
you.
have you had the crossover? Because
Oh,
I
That's
literally
all I date.
no what wait.
Real bad.
We're gonna bond over this
No,
right now.
real
dude,
bad.
all I date are guys who are gay because I literally don't like straight men. Like, genuinely, I don't.
Yo,
And there's like a
wait.
study. There's definitely like there's reasons for it, you know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, it might
Yeah.
be different for you than for me, but like at the end of the day, it's also like, do I feel safe? And I be
Mm.
feeling safe? And this is how they be getting me too. And not too much because I'm about to dox myself, but just know that I've been in situations where like in person, we're working on this. I'm very like guarded. Like if you
Mhm.
see me at the club, like, I mean, unless you look like Alex Turner 3 inches tall, like you will know if I'm into you because I will literally like see you, I
Mhm.
guess. Like in the club, like I'm literally like, nobody talk to me unless you're like a girl today or a gay, like seriously. And they always get me because then they slide through the cracks. Like the ones who, well, in my experience, they've been like straight guys who just like present almost like very queer, just are very like
Yeah.
effeminate. And so
Yeah.
they'll come up to me and start keying. And I'm like, girl, one thing about me, I'm a key. So they would key, coo, coo, coo. And then they'd be like, give me your number. I'm like, what? Like that's how they've been getting me recently. Is I'm like,
That's funny.
you know, I think I'm in a safe space, but
Yeah.
you spill too, you
What's
spill too.
yours?
I feel like that's like the same tea. Like the vibe. One thing about the vibe for the most part is like they're definitely giving like queer, like it definitely feels like a safe space. And
It's
that
so
is-
safe.
It's so safe. I literally feel like I'm hanging out with my best friend, and that's the thing. Like that's what I realized when I would like date guys. I'm like the dates I hated were like super straight guys who were like, "Duh, duh, duh, duh."
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my god, get back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I'm like the guys who are gay who literally are down to literally talk about like girl shit. I'm like, right, come here.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
you smell good, look good, like your place. Oh,
They're the
my-
guys made for the female gaze.
Yes.
And it's like it's very confusing. And I was like, I don't know, I kind of fell for it because I was like, I'm not sure that he was clear on, you know, where he was either.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm good with helping you figure that out. Like I was okay with that because we
Right.
were
For
in
sure.
Arkansas. Okay, bless him.
Right.
Bless him.
Real.
It wasn't even his fault, but it was like so safe. It was like, it
Yes.
was so pure and elementary. Like we barely hit a base, and it was like never expected that I had to do anything, but the chemistry was there. I just think it was confusing because it's like, are we supposed to be making out or are we best friends? And I mean, obviously now we know we should have
Yeah.
been best friends, but then it was so fun to like figure it out too.
No, literally. And also, too, like, I love it because they'll be like, oh my gosh, you look so cute. And I'm like, do you think I'm
Yes.
cute or do you think my outfit's cute? Like, girl,
Okay,
which
but
one?
why was he helping me get ready? Like
That is, I'm like,
Well-
y'all don't want to think bigger.
Y'all don't want to think bigger because Dom also like you're not just saying like, oh, they're gay, they're queer, like you date like genuinely, or the people that you have dated have been like genuinely queer people.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like that because I'm literally like,
that shit, like where they're literally like they hella be dating guys. I'm like, right.
Yeah.
Because I swear to God, like that shit hits so different because I feel like to some, for me, I guess what it is too is like being black or just, being Blasian, being mixed and, you know, just always knowing what it feels like to be other. Like I feel like they have that standing base of like empathy
ooh, that's
of
so
what
true.
it feels like to be like dating and kind of different and like not fitting into everyone's boxes. Like
Yes.
I feel like the guys that I date who are like that are so much more understanding, have so much more empathy, like just carry themselves differently, like just in every single aspect. And because it takes a lot of work to be honest about who you are to yourself.
exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
And I think anyone who's like gotten to a place where they can at least be honest about that, I'm like, girl, come
Yes, it
Exactly.
really shows a lot
here.
about their character. I didn't think about that too.
It's
like,
Yeah.
true. It's true. Because I was literally about to say when you were talking, like, it is, I think it is that tea at the end of the day. Like, obviously, like, gender and sexual identity are different things.
Mhm.
But, and it's like when you're not like cis het, there's like a certain level of like self reflection that happens that I think
Yeah.
is like, it is what makes it a little bit easier to be on the same page about more things. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like,
right.
I
That
think that that's
transparency
real.
is like way higher when you can do that internally with yourself 1st.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it shows.
No, totally. And it's like the same way that like, you know, women are able like just like whoever women are and like obviously there's like different levels of oppression and stuff. It's like on like some level we're all able to understand like what we have gone through and like what it's been like for us to like be excluded in areas of life. I feel like the same way with like queer people, like guys, I'm just like I understand like your feeling of like times when like you felt super excluded or like you don't mold into the box. And then it's just like I think that added layer of like, okay, you're gay, but then you also date girls. Like, there's probably some of that too that you're like, oh shit, like that's weird too. Cause you know, I feel like a lot of people are like, you're either this or you're that. And I'm like, the bi erasure is fucking real,
The
man.
bi erasure is very, very real.
Mhm.
It's very, very real.
And so would you say that you go for more guys who are like in the queer space?
Yeah, like
Okay.
only.
Oh,
like
statistically speaking,
exclusively-
statistically speaking, the T too is I feel like we kind of go for like a similar energy in guy, but yours end up being queer and mine end up being straight.
that is exactly what happens.
Statistically.
Okay.
110%.
So yeah, which is
Mhm.
why. Well, I mean, I guess we're both single, but
But all the guys I've dated, I will like actually dated, not like some foo-foo lame dated,
Mhm.
have all been T. Like all of them, like at the end
Happy
of the
for you.
yeah, like none of them. We obviously have ended for a reason, but like at the end of the day, I can literally look them in their eyes, shake their
Yeah.
hand, and like feel only but
Right.
like nothing but love for them
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
that experience.
Like,
too
are you
has-
still friends with them?
Yes.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
I am. I am
well,
friends.
are we too good
Yes,
at friends?
who's watching?
Yeah.
Like
No,
who's
I don't-
watching? Yes.
No, no, hello, who's watching? Who's watching? I'm like, because you know
No,
who you
yeah.
are. You know who you are.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Well, if it's healthy for you,
Here's the thing. Like, again, it goes back to the taking away judgment.
Yeah, for sure.
taking away judgment.
Like, sometimes you really do have to just like see something with someone. Like, if your
Mhm.
connection is special, like
Mhm.
maybe it
Mhm.
isn't what it's true. I'm being for real.
No,
Okay.
I'm literally run it back, Barbie. That's why I'm weak. Is I'm like, you're
And I have no
preaching to the
no's
choir.
either because I'm a Scorpio.
Right.
OMG, loving that.
Yeah.
I love
so
Scorpios.
Bumping
It's
that
not even my fault.
for sure.
No, literally, one of my favorite exes is dead ass a Scorpio, and
A Scorpio man though.
yes, bad as hell. I would take him back in a literal.
was nice?
heartbeat. But yeah, he's also
Okay.
gay though. So come on.
Okay, well, yeah.
That's
see,
what I'm
that
saying.
doesn't
One
even count.
of us. One of us. But yeah, this person, like, yeah, like I run it back because here's the thing. Sometimes connections, like if something's hella special, like sometimes you just have to see something through. And sometimes
Period.
someone
Yeah,
just
yeah.
understands you in a very unique way. And then it changes. Like that
Mhm.
ex who's a Scorpio, like he's on some new shit. And like honestly, it wouldn't work if we were to like try to get back together. But like I recognize that and know that. And also am thankful for like the experience and time that we've had together.
Mhm.
And then it's like with this person, it's like I have like a lot of like love and care for this person. And do I think it's probably gonna work out long term? No. But
Mhm.
am I enjoying like what
What it
we're-
is,
what
what's
it
up.
is,
Yeah,
what's
for
up?
sure.
Got you in the club, what's up? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
enjoying
I do, I
the
do.
experience.
Yeah,
per se.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you just have to do that too. Like, I don't think that's like the worst thing in the world. Unless your ex is literally like should be in jail.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Agreed.
think, yeah, everyone's end goal too. Like, I don't know. When I was dating, sometimes it was just like not really trying to be locked down kind
Yeah.
of dating. Like, are there still a lot of people who are like kind of just doing things for the vibes?
Are there a lot
Or
of
probably-
people who are just doing things for the vibes? Let's let the audience decide. I'm literally
In this city?
Probably in this, yeah, probably more than
Yeah.
not.
Yes.
See, when I said that, I was thinking about where my most active dating was, and that was in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are locking
which
it
that-
down. They're
or
locking it
was
down.
that?
Traumatizing.
Oh,
Tw-
yeah. I can
22 year like, okay, so I was in a sorority and we would have like this little ceremony every time someone got engaged. And it was like every single week. And then it would be like two girls in one like sitting that would get engaged. And when I tell you, like, they hadn't had their first drink yet, but they were locking it down.
Wow.
I've said this, but I'll say it again.
Wow.
Those same girls are now on their first divorces, maybe
Yeah.
I mean,
second.
for sure.
I mean, it's and it makes me kind of sad because I'm like, your 20s are the best to
Yeah.
just like do all that shit and mess up big and figure out what you like, who you are, what you want. And I wish like there's something that could have gone back in time and been like, hey, like you guys can
Yeah.
even date each other long term. You don't have to lock it down right now.
yeah.
You know, but it is so, I don't know like where it comes from, but it's like get married, have babies. And I
Yeah.
felt so just like I was wrong
Mm.
because, well, one, no one's really interested in the black girl at Arkansas. So,
Right.
like, I didn't have many takers, but thank God, because, like,
Yeah.
if I did find someone, I would have definitely felt
Dude.
like this is what we do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
And
where
that's
does
how
it come from? Like,
where
it's
does
literally
it come-
No, I know.
patriarchy, like patriarchy. Because genuinely, I don't know. I feel like I'm from Sacramento, which is like a little different, but it also is kind of a thing of like, I've seen a lot of marriages happen with like people who, like you said, like haven't even had their first drink. And like, no shame in the no blame, no shame in the game. But I don't know. It makes me sad to think that like people kind of are like, you like make these huge commitments without having the time to even just like look at those commitments and be like, is this an option or not? Because girl, if they would have got me like 2 years earlier, like when you're literally like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, you're just like trying to figure it out so hard, like everything from scratch, like an adult for the first time, that I just feel like it's so difficult to like take a step back, especially if everyone's like, you know, everyone around you is active. It's like, how are you going to take a step back and be like, oh, what am I even, like, what's even going on here? You know?
And I think also everything when you're like super young like that, like 20, 21, 20, like everything has rose tinted
sure.
lens. Like, and I know some people are like, no, like I'm for real. I swear to God, everything seems so romantic and like huge romantic gestures and things like that. And you think like marriage is the ultimate, which it should be in a lot of situations, but like it's the ultimate act of love. And like, that's like the final thing. And like, it's really not though.
And I think people look at it as more of like a checklist. Like it's like you get excited to go through the process and then the process is like done. And I actually went through like a crisis. I go through a crisis every life change. Like this is something I work on.
Of course.
Because change is very hard for me.
You're real.
But we dated for a long time, me and AJ, and then got married. But like even when we were getting married, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a lot. And I would have like these freak out moments of being like, wait, like what comes after this though? Like, does the romance stop after marriage? Like I had so many fears that it was just going to be like a dead wall. And then like having kids, I'm like, wait, how am I going to be a mom and a wife? Like I'm that type of person that's like, how do I spread myself and like go into this next chapter? And so thinking about doing that at like 22 or 23 or like whatever the age, I'm like, I don't know how I would be able to like actually conceptualize those steps that young.
Well,
it would be you can't and you have to like seriously just mess up. But like I also feel like I know myself so much better. I'm always going to be learning myself, but like holy cow, who was I at 21 versus like now in my 30s? They're two different bitches.
Oh my God, who I was at literally 23 versus 25. I'm like, well, I'm like, you know, love for every version of myself, but girl,
it's wild. I'm like, we're not even interested in like the same guys. Like,
well, and that's the thing too. I was gonna say where I'm
Fuck
like
that.
literally like locking in with you is like I grew up in Arizona and obviously I grew up in like a super white neighborhood. Like I had no takers, like negative takers. And I feel like in ways that used to, not anymore, like stunt my confidence in like dating because I'd be like, oh, this person's like not, like I would just automatically like assume like, oh, this person doesn't like me,
it
like
plants
whatever.
seeds in your head.
It really does. And like it really messes up with your feng shui because you genuinely think you're ugly and you genuinely think like people don't want to date you. And then when I like moved to LA and guys would literally be like following me around, like trying to be like, hey, like what's good? And I'd be like, yeah, like what? Like the bathroom's over there. Like literally leave me alone.
It just catches you off guard.
Totally. And I feel like even that experience in and of itself, like I always look back on like the people who are like, oh my gosh, like please, like if I just like, oh, I wish I could have like married them like when I was younger. And then I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah,
my life would have ended.
The
Like
angels had to intervene.
The angels had to intervene. And like that's the thing. Like I think of those moments, you know, when I go through a breakup or like I go on a bad date and I'm just like, oh my God, like I feel so like hopeless about my dating situation. I think about all the people I've had a crush on in the past and how I literally used to freaking pray to the stars that we would end up together. And then I think of like where they are now and where I'm at now and how they're just
it's always the ones you really wanted that, you know.
That you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. No, yeah. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I'm so excited to meet baby bestie, and I can't believe we're just a few short weeks away from all of it. As I'm nesting, I'm entirely focused on what's going to make my life easier with a newborn. I recently found out there's this brand called Magnetic Me. The fabric on these clothes are so soft, but the cool part is that everything has magnetic closures. It apparently saves so much time during night and day changes and replaces the hassle of snaps and zippers. I think I'm most nervous about what nights are going to look like with a newborn, especially while we try to find a routine. We're going to need every minute of sleep once he arrives. And with how quick and easy changes can be with Magnetic Me, we can squeeze in those precious few more minutes of sleep because truly every minute matters during that time. I can't wait to dress my baby with Magnetic Me. And trust me, you need to order these for your baby too. Make your life a little bit easier. Go to magneticme.com today and new customers will get 15% off their order. Don't wait. That's magneticme.com.
But okay, going back to your comment about like when you're in a space where people don't look like you and the beauty standard is just like, it's not accurate because you just don't see people who look like you. I was explaining this to AJ one time. I was like, I don't think you get it. Like there's like a step that a lot of Black girls have to do before they like approach somebody. And it's like, is this person gonna like me? Even like amongst Black guys, it wasn't just like a white or Black or anything thing. I'm like, I don't know. Especially when I was in Arkansas, I did not know.
And,
like,
yeah. And there's like, and not even just like you, but like the versions of you. Like, I'm like, will you like me with a bonnet on? Will you like me with braids?
Right.
Like, and I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I be dating people where like, that's not even a question.
Of course.
But I understand like when you're younger and you are in those spaces, or like for someone listening, like maybe you're in college and you're like,
flinging
oh
off the bonnet.
Yeah, like you're literally like, like, you know what I mean? Like, finally they fell asleep. I can put my scarf on. Like, I just feel like
that's too real.
That's so real.
It's so real.
That's really fucking real.
That just brought me back.
No.
I'm like, I cannot put my head on cotton, so I'm gonna. Is he asleep? Okay.
I fear. And it's like experiencing that, like the hoops that we jump through just to feel like less weird or like less other, like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? And then I used to feel like that. And then I just started dating people who like me.
Right.
And started experiencing what that was like.
And how simple the fix was.
Yeah.
Like,
and just even going somewhere where like go where you are loved and go where you are appreciated. Like I feel like that's what I kind of did in my dating life to have like a positive experience, because people, I could say that all day long. Like there's like plus size girls who will literally be like, oh my gosh, like I went on a date with this guy and he took us like at 2 hours away and like he didn't want me to be seen. He was acting super weird. And I'm like, if a man ever... Or like I sat down at the booth and he was like, yeah, this is not going to work. Like I saw this freaking girl on TikTok. Oh my God. I was so like, wanted to like go and find that guy who she went on a date with and literally go to jail. Because he pretty much like, she went on the date and then he was like.
It's like, why ask someone on a date? That is the bare minimum. If like you don't want to be seen in public, like what's the objective at that point?
What's the objective? And I just was like, I am only into people who are genuinely obsessed with me.
And you know what the sad thing is like now hearing you say that, I'm like, oh, absolutely, like co-signing. But like when I was younger, oh no, I would have been the girl in the booth. Like, that's okay. Like justifying this crazy behavior.
Dude, and I have been the girl who's literally gone on a date with like a guy who's just like, meh. Like, I don't even like him that much.
Mid as fuck.
Mid as fuck, just because I was like, well, I'm going on a date.
Yes.
Pack it up.
Yes.
Pack it up for me.
It is the bare minimum. I'm also like really big on just attracting the things that you want in life.
Yes.
And I literally started doing like witchy work. And that's how I met AJ too. Like, she's like.
Girl, don't tell me about nothing.
But it's so true. It's like when you really have to fuck with yourself before you start looking for someone.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're going to attract those insecurities and they're going to continually validate you on like what you don't want to see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really like you have to do the inner work. As like corny as that sounds, it will continue to cycle for you. You're like, why do I attract the same person? Because you haven't done any work.
Yeah.
Real.
And it's just like, I don't know what my therapist says. And I think it's like such a good example is she was just like, because I was feeling that way. I was like, I feel like I kind of hit a wall. I feel like I was like attracting this like same energy over and over in. And she was like, it's because you allow that energy in.
Period.
Now. And she was like, and this goes for people pleasing too. Like this is a good analogy for not just dating, but also people pleasing, which carries into dating. But she was saying, if you don't like when people smoke in your house and then you let people smoke in your house and it low-key bugs you, it hella annoys you, but you're just like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine. Like you guys can smoke in my house, but like it's not okay with you. She was like, she was like, yeah, you're just letting smokers come in because you're not okay with it, but you say it's okay.
Yeah.
She was like, but that person, if you tell them, hey, I don't like when you smoke in my house, those people are going to be like, well, we're not coming here anymore because you don't let me smoke in the house anymore. And she's like, but the people who don't smoke anymore, the people who, that's what you're going to to attract because you're like, oh yeah, like I don't like when people smoke in my house either.
Yeah, stand on business.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's just kind of like that analogy carried into like dating and just life in general and like just allowing people to like something you're not comfortable with, something that's like not a good principle for you, something that's not a part of your moral compound of who you are. And then you're just like, oh, I don't know, I guess it's okay because like, I don't know, I kind of like them. And it's just like, no, like those are the non-negotiables. And it's just like, as soon as you start letting like those things trickle in,
yep.
you're going to be a little cooked.
Yeah, no,
Just a
that's
little.
so true. It's like when you accept the bare minimum and you don't feel like you can stand on business with people, like you're going to keep attracting the same BS situations over and over again. But I think part of that issue is that a lot of people don't think they're deserving of like better. Like even the slightest bit. So they're like, well, at least like to your smoking analogy, at least someone's at my house and I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You know, but like loneliness ain't that bad. Like
in comparison, I will take a life of genuinely like being by myself, but being by people who like surround me and respect me than someone who's just there.
Right.
What?
Right.
Are you kidding me? I will literally go buy 10 more Sunny Angels and fill the void.
Like you cannot be bringing the auras down in the room. Like
No.
we need someone that's going to help me become a better person. Like that's how I had to start looking at my dating situation was like, am I better from this or not? And like genuinely was blindsided when I met AJ and thought he was weird at first because of the intention and the kindness and like him actually being a decent person. Because I was so used to like fuck boys. I was like, why aren't we doing this little like confusing game, this toxic pattern? Like, why are you being nice to me? And then he gives me an ultimatum. He's like, either we're gonna like be together or we're not. And I'm like, a word? Like straighten me out real quick.
Manifesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had just made my witchy list too.
Right.
So and then he popped up. I was like, okay.
Right.
Let me get to
As it
God.
happens.
Yeah.
That's
No.
the tea.
As it happens.
He is.
Okay.
But oh my gosh, guys, this is awesome.
Wait, love it.
Okay.
You also never explained your guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Wait, let's do that before y'all plug yourselves.
Okay, my guy would literally be wearing like the most simple of fits. Like it's not the fit, but his vibe would genuinely be like mute, caring, and like so sweet. Like you would literally just be like, oh my gosh, I'm putting you in my pocket and taking you home.
A little teddy bear.
Like a little teddy bear, but like he would not be the loudest. Hell no, I hate the loudest guy in the room. Like
yeah.
the loudest guy in the room and me are gonna fight.
Yeah.
Like that's how I was in
Yeah.
classrooms. Like me and the loudest guy would literally be like arms in the air. And that to me like is just no. But he would be listening to, you know, maybe like a deep cut, like just something unique, like not like, you know, not like Morgan Wallen or like some ghetto shit, but like he would be listening to like some Quincy Jones or like some like dope like
Period.
something or like some SoundCloud. He'd be on SoundCloud.
He's on SoundCloud for sure.
Hey.
Oh wait, and one more. Okay, well we have time for each of you to do your hear me out. It doesn't have to be a real person. It could be a movie character, a fictional character, but one hear me out before you go.
Only one. You have yours?
Yeah.
Or rapid fire them.
Okay. You go. I need to think.
My hear me out. Oh, this one's just like bad. Like it's kind of it's embarrassing. I don't know if
It's not. That's why it's a hear me out.
no, but like everyone
We'll hear you
but
out.
Everyone's hella gonna be like,
Wait, really? Wait, spell.
No,
spell.
I'm gonna hear you
Spell.
out. I'm gonna hear you out.
Gandalf from Lord of the Rings to
Right,
me.
right.
Wait,
is-
I need to Google it. I know.
And
I should.
Gandalf?
I'm like,
Oh,
I should,
mama.
I'm like, wait, you know, wait.
Gandalf. I
I'm
wish
like,
I
great.
knew these characters, but I'm not. Oh,
Because you know what it is for me?
he's giving Jeff Goldblum.
He's giving, for me, Gandalf is just like, I feel like if I was his age, like if I was an older lady,
Yeah.
I would literally be like, that's my man. Like
For sure.
the young
Okay.
Gandalf, like whoever Gandalf was when he was like my age.
Let me look
For
at him
sure.
seriously.
I would like literally lock in. There's only pictures of him when he's an old man. But like I like that energy of just like the knowing. Like this person is confident. They know what's
I
going
see it
on.
here.
You know what
I'm hearing you out.
Just like him as a person.
No, like,
Oh, okay.
I think I'm Sorry. No, the wig in that picture was Tara. I was just gonna think about it for a second.
No, because that's a Remy.
The
30
wig.
No, a 30
down.
bust down HD lace. Like I'm like, no, that's Gandalf with the hat.
With
yeah,
the hat,
yeah.
right?
I mean, y'all
That's
look
just my
into the
thing.
future.
I
you
hear
know
you
what I'm
out.
saying?
I hear
I'm
you
gonna
out.
look like that eventually, probably.
What
if that's
are you
into.
thinking for your hear me out?
I just feel like personally, like I don't really have one, period. No, I have
Yeah.
one, but I don't have any in the context of like, oh, they're like, everybody would be like, oh, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I feel like my hear me outs are still pretty like everyone's gonna be
Relatable.
like, girl, shut the hell up. Like, I used to think that Christian Slater and the Heathers was like icky because I would like watch the movie with people and I'd be like, he's so bad. Like, he's like the baddest guy ever. And then people would watch it and be like, his voice is weird or like he's like weird.
Yeah.
But I know that he's like bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No.
Here's the thing. Like, see, that's a good hear me out because his character his character, what he looks like for me personally, like I'm just like it wouldn't work on me.
The
but
character is like a little unlikable, but like
Yeah, and he's definitely like a little quirked up. Like I
Yeah.
can acknowledge
He
that his voice like definitely had me like, "Arr?" Like I was like, okay, but like I'd be like, I mean,
just
you
don't
know.
talk.
Yeah, like just I'm trying to think of like who would genuinely. I don't know if I have like a hear me out.
I
Have y'all
think-
seen Corpse Bride though?
No, I haven't seen that one. But
his homeboy.
Yeah, I love me some Victor. He's bad,
Victor,
too.
I'll look that one up.
He's animated.
I was
boobs.
gonna say,
Don't make
but I
that
don't even
face.
know.
I'm like Link from Zelda.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
he's cute. No,
Yeah, he's bad.
or he's like I've never
wait,
played
Victor
it.
from Corpse Bride. You said
His name's Victor Van
Corpse
Dort.
Bride. Max from a Goofy movie.
Well,
But that's not even a
That's
hear
not a
me
hear me
out
out.
because
Okay.
he's just
But see, that's what I'm
bad.
saying is it's like, ugh, like you know.
Who's the
Oh, I'll hear
brother?
you out.
No, you'll hear me out.
Charlie
right?
from Charlie and Lola.
Okay, but see how that's a okay.
That's
When I was a kid,
There we go. Like
We'll
let's
cut that.
contextualize.
No,
Let's
sorry.
contextualize.
No, when I was a kid, like that's how. Sorry, not now. Oh my god. Oh god, cut it. They're literally gonna put me in the Diddy documentary.
And on that note,
On that note,
where
literally.
can everyone find you guys?
You can find me howling at the moon. You can find me as a glimmer in the sky. What about you?
That's true. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. Well, Instagram is Dom Roberts instead of an E, it's an X. On TikTok, it's Dom, not a teen mom. And you can find our podcast, Upstairs Neighbors Pod, on everything,
Mhm.
anywhere,
All at once.
all at once.
All the time.
Yeah. Yes.
Every platform you can imagine. We are there.
I'll put it in the
Except
show
Threads.
notes so you guys can go find them easily.
If
But
you'd like. Proceed with
they're
caution.
gonna love to.
Proceed with caution.
But thank you guys for being on this
Yeah,
today.
thanks for
No,
having
this
us.
was
That went by so
everything.
This was so
fast. I'm like,
cool.
wait, what? We're done. That's
I know.
crazy.
I knew this was gonna be
Aw.
like a fun sesh, but I'm
Lovely.
glad we could do this. Okay, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.